Hey everyone, Life Coach Carissa here. We are standing at the edge of a new year. Do you feel excitement or do you feel heavy? Because many of us are walking into the new year carrying invisible luggage, old stories, inherited beliefs, and the pressure of where we think we should be by now. But here's the truth. You cannot walk into a new life carrying old, heavy bags. So today we are doing a luggage check. We are going to identify what serves you, release what doesn't, and I'm going to share a personal ritual and the tattoo that keeps reminding me of how to ride the waves into the new year. Stick around. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. This month is all about integration and New Year preparation. And today's topic is so impactful. It's what you're carrying into the new year and what to leave behind. Because I want to talk about this unseen weight. For many of us, the end of the year brings this sense of heaviness. We look back at where we are and we think where we should have been. And this whole heaviness comes from the old stories and sometimes inherited beliefs about what success really means and what it looks like. We often don't even realize that we carry these beliefs. They just hang over us like a cloud. And I want you to know that it's very valid to feel this way, but it is time to put that all down. Your journey does not have to look like anyone else's. What matters most is that you find peace and joy in defining your own definition of success. One of the heaviest things I think we carry is this toxic inherited belief that we need to be 100% successful in anything we try, or else we have failed. Think about that. Who taught us that? We rarely put this great emphasis on the trying part. The focus is always on the outcome, but we fail to see that even in the decision to try, there is tremendous growth and courage. You know, I share this idea in my book, Why Am I Like This, that I published back in June. I talked about how a child, if you've been around a child or you have a child in your family, you'll know this, right? A child will begin to roll and then crawl and then pull themselves up and then take the first steps and then they fall down. They might even bang into something and then they get back up and they keep trying until they master it. And we celebrate every single step of that, don't we? Why is that not the same approach as we grow up and become adults? Somewhere the foundational message has gotten skewed. So if you are carrying this belief that you should only try things that you know you'll be good at, you are carrying a cage, my friends, not a goal. That cage in 2025. Why am I so passionate about this? Because I know I had that cage. I did not try things unless I thought I could be successful at it. And let me tell you, it had me living small and not fulfilling and pursuing my true purpose and passion and desire. Okay. So I want to talk about how do we know what to leave behind? You have to audit the sentences in your head. I say this all the time. The sentences in your head create your life. So think about this like taking inventory and running it through a menu test. Have you ever tried various things on a menu? Of course you have. We all have. We want to experience and try some variety and see if we may like something even better than what we've been getting. Now, here's a funny story that comes to my mind. My teenage daughter introduced me to 7 Brew in April of this year, and oh my gosh. Now I have a list in my phone of drinks that I want to try the next time I go, and it is becoming a whole thing, and that's a whole separate issue that I am contemplating how many times I'm going to do this in 2026, but separate story. But you get my point. I want to try more and more things on the menu, sometimes creating my own to see if I stumble across something that I love even more. So with that menu concept in mind, here is a simple strategy. Pick 1 hour of your day or a whole day if you can, and capture some of the thoughts that you've had throughout your day. When you're looking at your life, your future, what you're going to be doing, look at those thoughts one by one and apply an emotion next to each of them. And then I want you to ask yourself, how does this thought make me feel? Is it helping me move forward or is it keeping me stuck? If I could choose this thought off of the menu, would I order it again? Because if that thought makes you feel small, anxious, or inadequate, it is not serving you. Stop ordering it. Choose something different. This is how you keep growing, evolving, and moving forward. I often tell my clients, you would not eat a food if it makes you feel sick every time after you eat it. But day after day, we will think thoughts and sentences that are just sometimes toxic, sometimes subtle, sometimes just lurking beneath the surface, and they are not helping us. They're making us sick. And so we need to recognize it and choose something different. Okay. So choose different thoughts if they're not serving you. I want to talk a little bit about the science of space. Space meaning abundance. Why would releasing be so important? Well, because when we release the old weight, we create space for something new. This isn't just spiritual, it's scientific. When you are stuck in negativity, shame, or that heavy fight or flight mode, you literally cannot access the prefrontal cortex, the critical thinking part of your brain that is responsible for planning and creativity. And so my goal for every client is to get them feeling better first, because when you feel better, you do better, you make better decisions, and you really cannot build a dream life with a brain stuck in survival mode. So how do we actually let go? How do we release? Well, we have to retrain the brain through repetition. We have to replace the old neural pathways with new information. And I have a couple creative tactics for this that I have used. One is called the burn. I write down an old thought or belief that just is not serving me any longer on a piece of paper, and I literally burn it. It is a powerful symbol to my brain that the story is gone. Now, I'll tell you, Amazon, I believe they still do, but for a period of time, they were selling this flying wish paper. You burn it right in front of you and it disintegrates. It's really cool. And that has always been a very powerful ritual for me for how to truly make that desire to let go of this old thought take hold in my brain. Another thing that I do is visual, right? I put new affirmations, new sentences that I want to wire into my brain, and I put it on Post-it notes or my phone reminders, and I have those coming up throughout the day. Now, Dr. James Doty, whom was on the Mel Robbins podcast, he shared that if you say it out loud, say it internally, write it down, and visualize it, that activates all parts of your brain for maximum integration. So whenever I really want to have something take hold in my brain, a new way of thinking, a new way of looking at something, I do that 4-step process. Say it out loud, say it internally, write it down, and visualize it. And I've really seen success with this. Third thing is self-talk, right? I make intentional statements. It is very normal for me to be talking to myself out loud, and I'll say things like, remember, Carisa, we're not doing that anymore. Remember, Carisa, we don't say that to ourselves anymore. You really do have to become the parent to your own mind and have that intentional thinking. You know, I even went as far as to get a wave tattoo on my wrist. It reminds me that life is a series of ups and downs. Life flows like a wave, and my job isn't to stop the water. It's to get really good at riding it. So when I'm in the midst of a wave, I will trace that wave on my wrist, and I will say to myself, you can handle anything, Carisa. Just flow with the ups and the downs. Don't resist. And I'm telling you, dropping into that place of calmness and clarity opens up new possibilities, new creativity in my brain every single time. So I'm all about having multiple ways to integrate this new information into my brain, into my life. So look, I'm not a big New Year's resolution person, but our brains do love the fresh start effect. We love a clean slate. So use this to your advantage. I would love for you to take out a piece of paper and make 2 columns. One is what I'm leaving behind in 2025. This could be the need to be perfect, the fear of trying something new, the comparison trap that I get caught in all the time. And then I want you to have another column, what I am welcoming in 2026. Maybe it's the courage to be a beginner, to trust in your intuition, to ride those waves better, to try something new. Keep that list posted in front of you. I've done this for years now. Read it every day, repeat it to yourself, remind yourself, we aren't doing this the old way anymore. I absolutely know that you have the ability to design a life better than the one you are living now. And it does start with rewiring the brain. And with the right guidance, and by consistently feeding your mind new narratives, new sentences, new thoughts, new beliefs, you will shatter the ceiling of what you thought was possible and step into a life of deep peace and purpose. All right, everyone. I hope this video helps you lighten your load before the ball drops this year. You deserve to walk into the new year feeling light, capable, and ready to ride the waves. So if you want to learn more tips on how to live a life that you desire, stick around because that is what I've been able to do each and every year since I learned these tools. And my mission is to share them all with you. So please subscribe, turn on the notification bell. And if you want to learn more about my story and how I changed my life, check out my book, Why Am I Like This? Uncovering Inherited Programming and Navigating Generational Trauma. You can find it on Amazon. All right, everyone, let's make this next year your best one yet, and I will see you soon.